Sit down and relax as you watch this quick video intro before starting off the tutorial.
Objection! Objection!
A lot of you guys have been asking for a Higuruma tutorial, and they actually updated his domain, so let's get into the video and explain his skills, domain, and awakening. First thing to notice is the M1s are different since he uses a hammer. His first move, Extended Swings, swings the hammer on the enemy into a down slam. This move can be blocked. This move can hit ragdolls in the air, but not ragdolls on the floor. The second move, Justice Served, is a down slam with a massive hammer hit. This move can hit ragdolls. And this move bypasses block. It's best to use this move after extended swings. This move also has a finisher. The third move, Judgment's Reach, pulls the enemy into a punch. The ability says front on it, because if you hit an enemy blocking on the front, it will break their block. And doing it from the back won't break their block. The last move, Twirling Strikes, spins the hammer around before throwing them. It says back on it, because if you hit someone blocking with it, it won't work. But if you do it from the back, it will break their block. Judgment's Reach also has a secret variant that can extend Justice Serve and Twirling Strikes. Pressing it after using Justice Served extends the move with a down slam. Using it after Twirling Strikes also extends it by grappling you to the enemy into a down slam. Now for the R special. Pressing special will throw the hammer, then it will fly back to you. Pressing special while it's thrown will make it teleport back to you. Hitting someone with it will make it slowly come back to you. Pressing special after it hits someone will make you dash to them, which can be a good combo starter or distance closer. This still works if they block it. Now for the awakening. Using it will pop an instant domain like Hikari. If you get no one in it, it will instantly break and give you back 60% of your awakening. Now if we get someone inside our domain, it will teleport us in our designated spots, and you can see that the recent JJK episode inspired the creator to update the domain visuals. You can see that the Shikigami now looks more menacing compared to its earlier model. Also up here, you can see what the enemy's crime was. It's random every time and doesn't affect anything. Also, the Shikigami will follow you wherever you walk, so you can confront the enemy while the Shikigami is behind it. It doesn't do anything, but it's visually cinematic. Also, no one can fight in this domain, as it turns off damage, meaning fighting is useless here. Pressing the awakening bar or pressing G on computer will manually break the domain, and if nothing was done in it, you'll get 60% of your awakening back. Here's a side note, but if you have your UI at 1.5, then the buttons will be in the awakening bar, and pressing them will break the domain, so put it to 1 if you'll use Higuruma. Now let's actually explain how to use his domain properly in a fight. So there are 3 buttons above your skills when you're in the domain: Confess, Silence, and Denial. The enemy inside your domain also has these 3 buttons above their skills. And now I have to try to guess and press the same one as him, while the enemy tries to press a different button from you. And if we do press the same button, you get 1 bar out of 3. And your goal is to get 3 bars. So you're just supposed to press a button and hope that the enemy presses the same button so that you can get 3 bars for your awakening. And once you do get 3 bars, your domain instantly breaks and you get your awakening. But before we get to that, there's more. If you and the enemy choose Confess, you basically catch him confessing his crime, giving you all 3 bars instantly. Also, every time you guys don't choose the same button as them, you don't get a bar and guillotine boards fall down. First one, guillotine board fell down, but now that we chose a different button from them, 2 guillotine boards on each side fall down. And if we choose the wrong one again, another 2 guillotine boards on each side fall down. Then again, 2 guillotine boards on each side fall down. Then the last 5 fall down once we get wrong again. And now, since all the guillotine boards are down, after the next attempt the domain breaks, and if you have 0 bars you get 60% of your awakening back, and if you have 1 to 3 bars, we'll talk about what happens. So let's get 1 bar, and talk about what happens if you finish the domain with 1 bar. Now that we have 1 bar, we can manually break the domain by pressing the awakening bar or G on PC. This doesn't give you your awakening, but it temporarily gets rid of 2 abilities from all other players in your domain. From enemy perspective, you can see the abilities are gone for 90 seconds and they're unusable till then. Now let's see what happens with 2 bars. Now that we have 2 bars, let's manually break the domain and see what happens. You can see that the player doesn't lose any moves, but we get our awakening, and we'll get back to the awakening in just a minute. Now let's get to 3 bars. Getting 3 bars breaks the domain automatically and gives you your awakening and removes 1 ability from the players, so you can manually break the domain earlier if you don't want the awakening and just want to remove 2 of the player's abilities, or if you want the awakening without removing any player's abilities. Now that the domain's finished, let's get to the awakening. First things first, always remember the awakening pattern. Hand, leg, death. This might sound confusing, but it'll make sense in a bit, so just don't forget the hand, leg, death pattern for his awakening. Remember, hand, leg, death. The first move, execution, charges forwards, then kicks the enemy to the right. You can see that we have the enemy's hand on our sword now. And the enemy is now missing their hand since it's been cut off. And now, if we use execution again on somebody who is missing their hand, now you can see their leg is attached on our sword, and they are missing half of their leg. Now with the hand and leg gone, next is death. So now when we use execution on somebody missing their hand and leg, it becomes an instant kill. The next move is the only one that doesn't follow the hand-leg-death pattern. Final judgment is a sprint forward before slashing someone. Slashing someone puts you in a cutscene with them, where you have to mash the buttons on screen. The buttons are shown to you and the enemy, and there's a bar under it. The one with more percentage at the end wins. Winning instantly kills the enemy, but now if I mash all the buttons wrong to let the dummy win, you can see that it still damages the enemy, but they manage to survive. The third move, verdict, is 2 slashes taking a limb. And you can see that this took the hand from the enemy, because this move too works in the hand-leg-death pattern. And now doing the verdict move again takes the leg from the enemy if the hand is already cut off. And then the last effect of the pattern takes place, death. Under verdict, it says use twice, because if you press it again right before the second slash, it does more damage, but it won't take off a limb, so it's not worth doing. The last move, triple sentence, throws the sword ahead. You can see it gets rid of the enemy's hand, also following the hand-leg-death pattern. You can see that under triple sentence it says use thrice. That's because if we press the ability 3 times, it will throw 3 swords. Pressing the ability 2 times will throw 2 swords, and pressing it once will only throw 1 sword. So now if we throw 2 swords at the enemy, since each sword follows the pattern, it got rid of the hand and leg from the enemy. So you can see the hand and the leg is gone. So now spawning a new dummy. If we use the ability with 3 swords and they all hit, it finishes the hand-leg-death pattern and instantly kills the dummy. Now, if we get rid of the hand and the leg, you'd expect 1 sword throw to kill the enemy, since the hand and leg is gone already. But for triple sentence, the instant kill only works if it's the last sword, even if the hand and leg is already gone. Also, since triple sentence, verdict, and execution all use the same pattern, the pattern isn't locked to only working if you do it each time as separate moves. So you can use one of them to get rid of the hand, another to get rid of the leg, and the other to finish the pattern off. So the hand-leg-death pattern is pretty flexible when it comes to the awakening. Now let's get to the awakening special, where it gives this technique nullifier barrier around you. Once you put it on, you can't take it off, and it takes 5% of your awakening bar to use. And it works as just a quick shield, but it can be OP if we use it right. This technique really shines when it comes to domain. You can see that, even if I get my bar empty in Mahito's domain, the technique will protect me from dying. But if the player hits me and breaks my technique, then the shield isn't there for me anymore, and I die. And now let's use this in Gojo's domain expansion. You can see that the shield protects me from freezing in his domain, and I can move however I want in his domain. But if he hits me and breaks my technique, I'm no longer protected, and now the domain freezes me like normal. Now let's see this in Sukuna's domain expansion. You can see that the cuts don't slice me, and I can walk through his domain as if it's nothing. But once he hits me and breaks my shield, I don't have that luxury anymore. Now I wonder if we could survive a black hole with this. And unfortunately, we get sucked into it, even with the technique. Wait, what? We actually survived getting sucked into a black hole using this technique. Higuruma might be broken. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below what you guys want to see next.